Would Elden Ring heavy thrusting swords work as heavy thrusting swords? Hey, it's been a while. I've been moving and haven't had internet. But now I'm moved in and have finally a few seconds between unpacking to record and actually have internet to upload things. My backdrop is super boring, but I'm going to take those pictures that I have right here, the three ones, and then in between those, I'm going to put lightsabers, and it's going to be really cool. And this is my entire office right now. It's all mine. So I might even have a different backdrop facing this way, maybe a backdrop facing the toilet. And I'm pretty sure that I can find some area not in my office to do some cutting tests. I just have to get that all set up. Swords. The Great Epee is pretty much an English tuck or S-stock or whatever you want to call it, except it has a bladed cutting edge. And that's kind of weird to me because the S-stock is in the regular thrusting sword category, when historically it was a two-handed sword. I don't know, kind of weird. But this one has a bell guard on it, which would protect your hands more. Not bad. It does look like it's set up to finger the guard, and if you don't know what that is, I have a video on it. And that's good for a one-handed sword, but on a two-handed sword, that would be kind of weird. It would kind of bring the blade a bit more in line in a more comfortable fashion. But traditionally, people didn't do that with two-handed swords. I don't know, it would work as a sword, but it'd be kind of weird. The Godskin Stitcher has a guard that kind of curves down, and I generally don't like those sorts of things, because when you're holding a sword and cutting, that goes into your hand. But this one also looks like it's set up to finger the guard, so that curve wouldn't really be too much of an issue. I don't need this. But the big thing is the spike coming out of the back, you know. It's definitely pretty strange, but since it's a two-handed sword and you're doing that, you could have it angled, but that wouldn't really be good because, you know, you're trying to thrust directly into someone. However, there were some swords that were kind of like this. Here's a rapier that has a dagger coming out like that. It was pretty much just a rich people toy, but I'm also 99% positive that there's some Indian sword that has a very similar design, and I've seen a picture, but I haven't been able to find it again. The bloody helice is pretty much like a flamber's rapier, although combined with one of those world's deadliest quote-unquote war crime knives that actually aren't against the Geneva Convention. And generally those knives are pretty bad because, you know, you're not able to really cut things, but with a thrusting blade, cutting things isn't really an issue. So with the kind of wavy edge design, you've got some of the benefits of a flamberge blade, which can throw off your opponent when parrying. And you have that corkscrew design, which would be pretty ouchy entering a target. It would also make pulling out of the target kind of difficult. And the blade would be pretty heavy, so I guess it's pretty fitting that it's in the heavy thrusting blades. I don't really know what to say about the Dragon King's Crags blade. The description says it's made out of stone, which would be super heavy and super brittle, although this kind of looks like it's made out of bone. And it's carved from a dragon weapon, so that's really cool. It would be quite heavy, but the bulk of the weight would be down closer to the hands, so it might be kind of maneuverable. The game gives it a weight of 8, and their weights are pretty much 1-for-1 with pounds when talking about their straight swords. So a sword like this that weighs 8 pounds would be pretty functional. I'm not sure it would really be the best because you'd be limited to thrusting and just bludgeoning things, but it could work.